Hi, Princess Leia here with another Transgirl CNC, where we talk about comics, cartoons, and other awesome nerd shit. Well, it's our midweek video, and as of course we've got a topic to talk about, and I'm sorry that it's kind of turning into like sort of a midweek rants sort of platform. I don't mean for that to happen. We'll see how the next few videos go and see if this just totally becomes midweek rants. I surely hope not. But yes, we do have a little bit of a rant this week in our topic, and it's about the Marvel Massacre that has appeared in the March edition of Marvel's Previews. That's right, that did come out recently. So next week, do look forward to a comic book suggestion video. I can't wait to deliver that for you. It'll be a nice change from all the rants. I've only had like 2 before this, so it balances. It balances. Anyway, so yes, Marvel, the previews came out, and 9 titles were missing from the book. Now, why I'm ranting about this, why I'm talking about this, is, well, because 9 titles being canceled all at once is considerably noticeable for any publication, but for Marvel especially, and for me especially, because I get 8 of those titles. Now, I don't get Iceman, that's the only one I don't particularly get, and while 9 comics are missing, only 8 have been confirmed for cancellation. Right now we're still waiting on, at the time of filming this video, we do not know if America Chavez's comic, which we just reviewed 2 weeks ago, we don't know if that one is scheduled for cancellation, but a lot of people are assuming it is, because it's not in the book. It just hasn't been confirmed yet. And I really hope it isn't. Now, we did talk a little bit in our main video this week about the Hawkeye cancellation. That's one of the ones that was mentioned in the, or missing, I should say, from the Marvel's Preview book. So you already know about that one. And like I said, I'm not particularly too worried about that because she's such a popular character. I'm sure they'll use her sooner rather than later. So I look forward to whatever new book she's probably going to be appearing in. I mean, at least I really hope she's going to be appearing in something. Iceman, as mentioned, I believe earlier, is getting the Axe. That's right, Bobby Drake's comic is coming to an end, and people aren't really sure why. Because when cancellations happen, it's generally due to poor comic book sales, and that's kind of what Marvel is citing right now, is low sales, but it's kind of hard to prove that in Iceman's case. Iceman moves about 13,000 units a month, at least in the last couple of months. Now, generally the target goal is about 14,000, 15,000, so it is a little under, but that's just physical copies. It does sell pretty well online, so its digital copy should make up for more than enough of the issue sales that it needs. But for whatever reason, they're canceling it, and they're keeping other comics that are selling not as well, and it's just kind of weird. A lot can be said about all of these. It can be kind of a similar thing. She-Hulk is also getting canceled, and that's really weird because it is certainly selling enough to stick around, but it did come down through the pipeline, and the writer and artist have both confirmed that issue 163 will be the last of She-Hulk, but they are working on something new. They can't talk about it, so maybe it's more She-Hulk related stuff coming out in a couple months after March. I sure hope so. We'll see. Another character getting the axe is one of my favorites right here, Gwenpool. Now, a lot of people are like, well, she kind of canceled herself when she wanted to become a supervillain. She's been sort of pending at the end of her book. But I don't know if that's fair. I think that's kind of a lazy explanation. But who knows? Once again, Gwenpool is another good-selling comic book, and I'm not sure why it's being canceled at all. And I feel that there's a lot they could have done more with the character, and they're just kind of deciding, we're kind of done with this character. And as mentioned, you know, it is totally within their rights as a company to do whatever they feel is necessary for the good of their business, and I don't think this is a good move. Another comic ending is Luke Cage as well as Defenders. Now, Luke Cage is being ended due to poor sales, and its sales aren't aren't very incredible. It's selling about 10,000 units a month, and so that's kind of understandable that they're canceling it. It sucks because I really like Luke Cage. Defenders is ending for a sort of different reason. The main writer, Michael Bendis, is leaving Marvel to go work for DC, and which is, I guess, a good move on his part, whatever. But it feels like they could have had a different writer come in and take care of things. Spider-Man didn't end just because Dan Slott decided he was done with it. But Spider-Man's a major character, so I guess that is what that is. I really do think that a writer leaving shouldn't cause cancellations. They should be allowed to pass on their notes to somebody else, and then that person can continue it to as far as it can go. Another comic getting the axe is Jean Grey, which I feel we've reviewed already on this channel. I'll have to double check that. Sometimes I forget what I review. But it's a good comic book. And now, whether that is ending because of the Phoenix Resurrection going on, or is ending because of poor sales, I really can't say, because it has some kind of middle sales. It's not too low, but it's not quite there, so it's either or, really, on that one. And, yeah, I don't know what to say about Jean Grey, other than I was really enjoying it, and I'm sad to see it go. Another X book coming to an end is Generation X, which, I don't know. It has good sales. It has an interesting team. It has mutants featured in the spotlight that regular X-Men comics are never going to feature, like Benjamin, and his whole power set is not exactly apt for being main character status in like X-Men Gold, Blue or Red, or any like major fighty X-Men title. Also, a better look at Quentin and his stuff was super interesting. Like, you can see him trying to be a better character than he is. He's still a smug son of a bitch. But he is a likable enough character, and I would like to see him in more things. Recently he's been appearing in Jean Grey because of the Phoenix stuff, and he's been a main character in Generation X. After that, he's got nothing else in the world of X-Men, so I will be sad to see him go. Roxy, she's not appearing in anything other than Generation X. Jubilee isn't appearing in anything other than Generation X. It's just like, these are all really great characters to explore in their own book, and I don't see them using them in any other X-Men titles in the same way, to the same extent. And so it really feels like we're losing a chance to get to know these particular characters better and getting to like them more. You're certainly not going to see iBoy on the front lines fighting Juggernaut ever. Like, that's just not happening. So that sucks. Yeah, and that's all of them. She-Hulk, Hawkeye, Gwenpool, Luke Cage, Defenders, Iceman, Jean Grey, Generation X, those have all been confirmed for cancellation. Now, Captain Marvel is confirmed not canceled. It is instead being paused, hiatused, while Marvel works out their big Infinity arc that they're currently working on. Which means, Guardians of the Galaxy is canceled, but that was already announced a couple months ago. It is going from Guardians of the Galaxy into Infinity, because apparently that storyline was too big to contain in Infinity, and I don't necessarily know that that's true. We're already like 9 minutes in this video, so cool, it's done. So apparently the Infinity storyline was too big to contain in Guardians of the Galaxy, so rather than have Guardians of the Galaxy run parallel to their Infinity comic, they are just canceling Infinity and turning it, they're canceling Guardians of the Galaxy and turning it into Infinity. The only other comic that isn't showing up in March is America, but nobody will confirm whether that's canceled or if that's just part of this hiatus for Infinity, because America actually sells pretty well. They meet the 14,000 physical units mark, and they do pretty well in digital sales. Some of the sales that are falling behind are their graphic novel sales. And that's kind of understandable in the short of it, because most people who want to read America are already getting the monthly subscriptions, and going back and buying the big collections does make a lot of sense if you already own the collection as is. So that's it. Hopefully America's still going to be kicking around, because, you know, they haven't released another Ultimates in a while, so... So here's hoping. If they do cancel America, I'm sure she'll find her way onto another team, which is sad in and of itself, because I like seeing her in her own thing, doing her own stuff, and it's great. I know that there are plenty of people who don't like America because she mentioned menstruation once, and oh my goodness, that's so terrible. And she's so independent and so Hispanic. That's how I feel about that. So, yeah. I had a topic for this coming week, and I didn't think of what that was. But join us for our main video coming up. It'll be on New Year's, so, you know, Happy New Year's. Unlike the Christmas video, I don't really have, like, a New Year's special comic that I can march out for the beginning of it. So we'll see what I come up with. I hope you'll be here for it, and like always, I'm Fire Princess Lily, and until the next video, enjoy cartoons, enjoy comics, said that backwards, but enjoy them, and I'll see you next time. Bye.